All right, all right, all right. Let's see if we can get caught up here. I'm just waiting for YouTube to get and it is. Perfect. Perfect. And here's Avery right on cue. Hey, my friend, how are you?
I'm all right.
All right.
All right. All right. All right. All right.
Mr. Todd may actually be joining us in a little bit, so we'll see if
Is
that
he?
happens. Yeah. Supposedly he had a quick question to ask me,
Yeah, me
and
too.
he sent me a text at 7, and I said, "Well, I live stream at 8, so call me now." And he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'll wait till your show starts."
Yeah. That's about the time I heard from him too.
Yeah.
That and our group chat over what does and John Cassidy. What the?
That entire conversation should be a live stream, because it
I
was
like.
it was
What is that?
I do not know.
And they're
I do not.
publishing it. Like when I saw it, I was like, no way, this can't be real.
So just to let you guys know what we're talking about, there was a recent Marvel Comics cover that was previewed by an artist who has incredible talent, and it was sad. It just was really, really bad.
I think he drew it with his left foot while having a seizure.
That's possible. That's possible.
It's
All right, let me jump into the comments and see
Okay.
who's all here.
Who's here?
Sarah's here. Hey, Sarah, how's it going? Says good Saturday night, all. Welcome to the show, Sarah. Tim's here. Tim says good evening from Western Kentucky. Welcome to the show, good sir. BB is here. I was about ready to say Bebe, and that's not right. It's BB. He says, hey, everybody. Welcome. And, of course, Manuel's here. Says good evening, Sarah. Happy Saturday night. Sarah says, I have a funny scam call my son got this week. Want to hear it? Sure. Tell us all about it. Manuel says, good evening to Tim. Sarah says, same to you, Manuel. Tim says, good evening, all. Manuel says, good evening to BB. Manuel also says, hey to Avery.
Hello.
Welcome back, sir. Welcome back. I think I did 2 weeks in a row without you.
Yeah, one time I had fallen asleep and I missed you completely, and last week I just felt terrible.
That's fine. Well, I'm glad you're here.
It wouldn't have been good for me to be here. It just wouldn't, because I was just in a mood.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, my mouth went nonstop for hours on end.
I believe it.
So a normal day.
Sure.
Sarah says, hi to Avery. Welcome back.
Hello.
Stacy's here. Stacy says, hello, all. This is my first live. Well, fantastic. Welcome to the show. Manuel says, welcome back, Avery. Glenn says, 2 Christmas concerts done. Final one tomorrow for our choir. Then free performances at nursing homes every Monday for the rest of the month. Spread the cheer. Fan-frickin-tastic. That's awesome. Glenn, that's a good thing. Very good. Very nice. Manuel says, good evening, Stacy. Happy Saturday. The two of us says, hello, Drew. Before we start, please do not mind the demeanor of number 2. Just always angry for no good reason and offers negative insight and snide remarks. It's all right. We're used to that. It's no big deal. BB says, that's awesome, Glenn.
That's my job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is your job. Manuel says, good evening to Glenn. Tim says, we had an unusually warm weather and tornadoes in the area. Missed us once again. Actually, we had tornado warnings. I think it was last week. And we had some crazy rain. But today, it was gorgeous out. It was actually, believe it or not, it was actually a little hot today around here. So, I mean, it's December for you. You never know what you're going to get. Berths is here, says, hello, one and all. Welcome to the show. Stacy says, thank you to Manuel. BB says, yes, thanks, Drew. Cool, I got it. BB smiley faces. Darlene's here. Hey, Darlene, how's it going? Says hello to everybody. Stacy says hi to Drew. Thank you. Welcome. Manuel says good evening to Darlene. Tattle's here. Hey, Tattle. Says, I encountered an honest scammer this week. I told him that if he's a scammer to hang up, but he's legitimate, he should stay on the line. And he hung up. That's good. That's good. BB says hi to Manuel. Stacy says thank you, Drew. No problem. Dave's here. Says go Browns. Oh, stop it! Stop it with that mockery. That's all right. It's all right. All I'm hoping is for a good game, Dave. As I said before, all I'm hoping for is a good game. No blowout, even a close game. Like the last game was a close game and we lost, but it was not a dull game. It was actually very exciting. That's enough football talk for the evening. Sarah says, my son is 18. He got an IRS scam call that he didn't pay taxes for 1997. He wasn't even around then. Well, they try. They try for everybody. Manuel says, the two of us, good evening. Manuel says, hi to Dave. BB says to Tim, we had about 60s and rain here in Ohio. Okay, 60s is not bad. Actually, we had a day where it was in mid 60s, and the rest of my team that I work with during my day job is in New York. And I told them it was 62 and sunny, and they were like really pissed. They said, Drew, we don't want to hear any more about it. I said, okay.
It's wonderful. It's comfortable.
Yeah, it is.
In the 60s and sunny is great.
Yes, it is. It didn't last very long. It got hot. But the two of us says hello. So say we both always like we always like a friend. Well, very good. Craig's here. Hey, Craig, how's it going? Says like button, please. Yep, absolutely. Thank you, sir. Glenn says it must be the brain cancer from Camp Lejeune. The dementia seems to be getting better, or maybe I just don't care anymore. Thanks for calling, Grandma. Very good, Glenn. Craig says hello to Manuel. Manuel says hey to Craig. The two of us says thanks, Craig. We forgot. We say both. Okay. Stacy says it's Sunday here in Australia. Oh, excellent. Oh, wow.
Time traveler.
Yeah, she's living in the future. Fantastic. Yeah, we have another Australian viewer named Pez who one of these days I'm going to get the lottery numbers from him. He has yet to give them up to me, though. But I know he knows them because he's living in the future.
Yeah.
Dave says hello to Manuel. Bebe says smiley face. Darlene says heavy rain except tomorrow here. Expected here tomorrow. Okay. I think tomorrow is actually supposed to be real nice. Even though the Jags aren't playing at home tomorrow, it's supposed to be a real nice day. So fingers crossed. Tattle says, a scammer from your cable provider asked me how I'm doing. I said, miserable. How are you? He responded, also good. He must be a masochist. That's funny. Stacy says, I am. It's awesome here. Fantastic. And Stacy says, yes, I talked to Pez also. Okay, excellent. Believe it or not, guys, I just got caught up with the chat.
What?
I know. So I did something different today, and it's one of those, yeah, idiot, why didn't you do this earlier type of revelations. But YouTube only sends out 3 notifications a day. So if you put more than 3 videos a day, whatever else you put out, notifications do not go out. And I've always put out 1 video at 10, a short at noon, and a bonus, or I have been, a bonus video at 2, right? So that's 3 videos a day. So if I put out 3 videos a day on Saturday, guess what does not get sent out? A notification for this live stream.
Yeah.
So today I skipped the short. No short for today. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if that makes any difference in the amount of people that join in, because
that's a good decision.
We're almost up to 7,000 subscribers. So hopefully 7,000 notifications went out for the show. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Actually, last show was a huge, for me, huge, like 50 people is awesome. With an average, I think the average was like 42 or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like crazy. I tell my wife every time I'm done with the show, I go tell her what happened, and I tell her, it says 42 people tuned in to hear me talk.
Fantastic.
There are at least 42 insane people out there. No, I'm just kidding. These people are great.
That's growth, though. It wasn't that long ago. It was like maybe 10.
Yeah, I know. No, I think it's fantastic. I love all the people that come and join the show.
Yeah.
So I've got something new to share with you guys, or something new to show you. I feel like a whole new man. Okay. I got brand new headset because my old one broke. I've got new t-shirts, new underwear, new socks, new glasses, which you may not know.
Yeah.
I threw the underwear part in just for the hell of it.
I noticed those last night.
New glasses. But check out my hat.
New hat
is from my sister. She is the one that made my all my other hats and all my t-shirts as well. It's not shiny in the fact that it's embroidered. The whole thing's embroidered.
Yeah.
Where the old one
printed.
It was printed. Right. It was a It was a type of fabric paint that was done in a pattern so that you could do it directly onto the hat. So it was really shiny. But this is like awesome. It's gorgeous. And she gave me 4 of them. Now 2 of them, there's like slight misses in the stitching. So they're perfect for me wearing like while I'm making a video because nobody's really paying attention to my hat. But the other 2 are absolutely perfect, and this is one of the perfect ones. Look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo. I love it. My sister's so awesome. I don't know if I told you this, guys, before, but my sister, she's fantastic. I love her to death. She's great. But yeah, I got new hats. Now I'm hoping she's gonna make me some of my Misfit Corner hats because these are the printed kind. I mean, they look good and they're great. But I'd love to have some embroidered ones. They in my mind, I think they last longer. Oh, you want to hear something funny? Just between you and me, Avery. She gives me the hats, and she looks at the hat I'm wearing on my head, and she goes, "Now you can wash that one." And I go, "What are you talking about?" And I grabbed it off my head, and I went, "Smells like man." And she's like, "You are disgusting." She goes, "You are disgusting." I said, "Yeah, I know.
It's got a funk."
Well, I originally told her I wasn't going to wash them because I was afraid the fabric, the printing would come off.
Yeah.
So I never washed it. And I had it for, let me see, she gave me those last year at Christmas time. So
yeah, I've had them for a year.
But I have several of them, so I'm rotating several of them. I'm not wearing the same damn hat every single day.
Yeah.
It does feel like it sometimes, but I don't. But anyway, I feel so blessed to have my sister bring me new hats. So I'm
very nice.
All right, let me catch up on the chat, see who else joined, and then I'm going to tell you about an exciting thing that happened at the store today. All right. I got that one. Yep. Sarah says, so the guy asked for his address and said 123 Sesame Street. He could hear him typing it, and he asked if his name. He said Elmo, and I'm married to Miss Piggy. He said I don't pay taxes from 1997 to now. Actually, I don't think Miss Piggy was ever on Sesame Street. I know Elmo was, but I don't think Miss Piggy was. I think she was the Muppets.
I think she might have had a guest appearance every once in a while on
I'm
there.
not sure, but if he went for it, that's funny.
Kermit was on both, though.
Yes, Kermit was on both. Manuel says, good morning to Stacy. Happy Saturday or Sunday. Baby, thumbs up. Berth says, I had a life insurance scammer who asked me if I had dementia, and I said, I don't remember. I really enjoy when they start to ask you what some of your issues are, and I go, can you speak up? Because I have a hard time hearing, or my memory's bad. Repeat what you just said, and I'll try to get them to repeat what they said numerous times, just because I love screwing with them. Sometimes it's really fun. Manuel sends a lot of smiley faces and thumbs up. Stacy says, good morning to Manuel. Craig says, births, laugh out loud. Manuel says, good evening to births. Stacy says, to births, face purple, crying, face purple, crying, face purple, crying. Okay. You guys know those are emojis. So Bebe says, hello, smiley face to births. The two of us says, we definitely did go get the notification, Drew. We say we both. Okay, fantastic. Good deal. So the experiment has worked, at least so far. Darlene says, I have a Sesame Street nearby. Should have messed with it. We should have moved there. I remember as a kid, there was a Sesame Street theme park. I think it was in New Jersey, because we lived in New Jersey and we also lived in Pennsylvania. And I remember Hershey Park is a theme park, but I remember a Sesame Street theme park. And I have no idea where it's at, but I don't even know if it's still there. You never know. But I remember going there as a kid and really, really, really enjoying it. But then I must have been a really little kid, to be honest with you. But you never know what floats your boat as a kid. Now you look back out nowadays. Like I was watching in the store. I made a mistake in the store. I put one of my Christmas DVDs in, which includes Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty, and Frosty Returns. Those three. And then I put a table, like literally in front of the gate that I have built in the back of the store in order to get to the Blu-ray player that plays movies and TV shows. I put a table in front of it, loaded it up with Christmas stuff, put a whole bunch of bins underneath it. So I made it so it's not movable, which means I can't get to the back of the store to change out the Blu-ray player. So I've been listening to those 3 shows constantly since last Saturday.
Nice.
And it reminded me that when I watched the original animated cartoon show for Frosty, it traumatized me as a kid. That scene in which Frosty melts after making a fire to keep the little girl warm in the freezer trailer that was carrying Christmas cakes.
Mm-hmm.
When she wakes up and he's melted, oh, as a kid, I remember that hurt me. I mean, it would like hurt my heart. That whole scene was very, very traumatizing.
It's meant to.
It did its job. It traumatized me. Do you guys remember any cartoon, like holiday cartoons out there that traumatized you that you remember? And
it wasn't a holiday cartoon, but when you're like 5 and you watch Bambi, that'll get you.
Yeah, I don't think that affected me nearly as much as
or Old Yeller,
the witch from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Frickin' freaked me out. I had a, and I still probably have it somewhere. I have a book, an art book from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a really big, thick, gorgeous book. And there is a double-page spread of her face. And every time I flip through the book, if I see that page coming, I will grab the page underneath it and I will turn both pages because it scares the ever-living crap out of me to look at that image of that woman. Scares the crap out of me, literally. But yeah, so all right, now you guys are getting to see a glimpse into the traumatized childhood of Drew. Yeah, I know.
You know what? The 70s and 80s was a good time to be a little kid, man, because they didn't sugarcoat some stuff they gave you.
No, they did not. They didn't
sanitize a lot of stuff. They just said, "Hey, kid, watch this movie."
Yes, sit in front of the TV and watch it. That's right.
It's like, oh, it's about a dog. It's so, bam! Oh, God.
I actually have a copy of Old Yeller in the store, a VHS copy, believe it or not. So,
yeah.
All right, let me catch up again. Yep. BB says, I noticed the new glasses earlier today when I saw your video. Okay, excellent. Yep. I tried looking for glasses that were similar, but these are just a little bit more shiny. You know, whatever. I actually have to have prescription reading glasses as well. So I have another set of glasses. I haven't broke them in yet, but these I've been breaking in for the last day or two and day and a half. I picked them up Saturday afternoon, but they're nice. I can actually see a little bit better. They're wonderful. Manuel says, hey, Drew, awesome new glasses. Looking cool, homeboy. I'm starting to really doubt Manuel knows what cool means because I am definitely not it. Definitely not. I'm just kidding, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you.
He just wants you to feel special, big guy.
He's being nice. Thank you, Manuel. I appreciate it. Tattle says, my TV and internet provider called to say they didn't receive my payment. I said I paid and have an email to prove it. I bluffed and asked for the email so I could send him proof, and he hung up. Okay, very good. Very good. I love I'm calling from your TV or cable provider. I love those. Haven't gotten one in a while, though, but I love them. BB says, I like the new glasses. Thank you. Thank you very much. Nobody said anything about my new underwear. I mean, they fit very comfortably.
No.
Guys, I brought Todd's live stream last night. I brought that up, and the guys were like, what the hell are you talking about? So, well, I was happy. I got new underwear. I'm happy.
I got new G.I. Joe underoos.
They're not.
You know what? If they made those in my size, I'd wear them. I don't give
a
shit.
Hell yes. I would get Transformers, G.I. Joe, or Batman.
I'd still wear them. I wouldn't care.
I would wear them too. I wouldn't wear the t-shirts. But
they need to make them in boxer briefs.
Ooh, yes. Somebody needs to come up with that idea. They probably do. You know they probably do.
Oh, yeah, they probably do.
Glenn says, "Is the underwear embossed with?" No, I think they're embossed with Fruit of the Loom. I think is what they are. So,
Tutti frutti.
yeah.
Fruity.
JG23 says, "Have you ever got any Microsoft calls where they say something is trying to access your email account?" I have gotten those before, and the funny part is I use a Mac, so I always find it hilarious when they call and say my Windows PC or something like that is having problems. Have gotten those calls, haven't gotten them in a long time, but I have gotten them in the past. So, yeah, they're always fun. Welcome to the show, sir. Manuel says, Drew, Dallas Cowboys playing tomorrow night at AT&T Stadium versus the Eagles. Okay, should be a good game. Manuel says, good evening to JG23. Big Daddy E says, keep up the good fight. Hello from Mississippi. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Absolutely. I love the little puppy dog picture. That's great. Craig says, Google said no Miss Piggy on Sesame Street. Never made an appearance. Nope. Actually, I think they actually talked about that on an episode of The West Wing where they were the first lady was making an appearance on Sesame Street and got to give Elmo a shot of some type, and it was a funny episode. But she was really upset because she didn't get a chance to see Miss Piggy, and that's when they said, well, Miss Piggy has never been on the show, at least up until that point, which probably, and the only crossover that they said was Kermit. He's the only crossover to go to the Muppets and Sesame Street. Now, I don't know if that's still 100% true, but could be. But very cool. Sarah says, the Sesame Park still exists in New Jersey. I knew it had to be New Jersey. That's awesome. It's very much a place for littler kids. At least that's what I remember. And I remember liking it. I remember liking it a lot. I don't know why, but I do. Manuel says, good evening, Big Daddy. Happy Saturday night. Tattle says, there's a Sesame Street theme park in Pennsylvania just north of Philly. Oh, okay. Well, maybe. See, I lived in both New Jersey and Philadelphia because my dad was in the military, so we moved around a lot. I don't remember which one I went to. There's a good chance it could have been Pennsylvania as well. But that's cool. Memories. Yeah. Manuel says, hey, I live in New Jersey. You don't live in New Jersey now, do you? Are you saying you lived in New Jersey? Jim says, good evening, all. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the show, Jim. Manuel says, good evening to Jim. Glenn says, I grew up a few blocks from where the opening sequence of the apartment, in the apartment for The Shining. Really? Okay.
Nice.
Do you know of any like movie-related historical places here in Jacksonville? I don't think there is any.
No, there's been a bunch of TV shows and stuff filmed there, but
yeah, I don't think any
like
of them
iconic.
Yeah, nothing memorable. So, all right. Tim says, "Flying Monkeys and Wizard of Oz freaked me out." Oh yes, that too.
Yeah.
That too. I don't think I had the lasting freak out from that, as I still can't watch Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Because of that the witch, the old lady, I still can't watch that. It's disturbing. Sarah says, my sister traumatized me when I was a kid. How did she do that? Jim says, good evening to Manuel. The two of us says, lots of people our age remember when Optimus Prime died in the Transformers 1986 movie. I do remember that, but I don't think it traumatized me. The thing I remember the most from that movie was the "You Got the Touch," the song, that first song, and I think I have more fond memories of that than anything else.
It was epic.
Yeah, it was epic. I used to actually have the soundtrack somewhere, and it was great. I loved it. So
it did hurt though for Optimus to die. I mean,
yeah, but you got Rodimus Prime out of it, so come on. Tattle says, the witch from Wizard of Oz scared me when she said Dorothy would die when the hourglass ran out. Oh, goodness. Yes, I do remember that. Big Daddy D says, thank you to Manuel. Anita's here. Hey, Anita says, hi, everybody. Glenn says, "Do you have filters on your live chat? Seems my comments was skipped twice. I don't have any specific filters on here. Nothing that I've put on. It may be YouTube's filters, but I'm reading the comments from StreamYards, not from YouTube.
So yeah, maybe he doesn't see it. If
Yeah.
YouTube is censoring it, he may not see it, but he would. So bring up the YouTube chat and read from that.
Yeah. Oh, I can't. It's so dinky small.
You can blow it up.
I'm not that smart. BB says, Drew, laugh out loud. Manuel says, good evening, Anita. Happy Saturday night. Darlene says, my older sister, when she was little, would cover her eyes when The Witch from The Wizard of Oz came out, and now it's her favorite movie. I do remember being scared when The Witch first showed up, but honestly, in a really, really strange, weird way, The Witch was kind of, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of the Wicked movie or the Wicked play, because the witch in my mind, green, is kind of hot, maybe a little. No, okay.
There you go, Glenn. I'm making your comment show.
Oh, okay.
It was one of his comments was being held.
Oh, okay. Manuel says, Drew, laugh out loud. Maggie's here. Hey, Maggie says, has anyone ever noticed a steep decrease in the number of scam calls lately? I'm wondering if the scammers have marked my character as someone who is a waste of their time. I have not. I get a decrease at the end of promotional type of stuff. Like, for example, Medicare open enrollment ended. The marketplace enrollment is going on through December 15th, but the Medicare ended on the 7th. But I'm still getting calls where they're calling about Medicare and so forth. So I don't know if I haven't experienced a steep decrease, but when stuff like that ends, like when the free COVID test thing ended, those calls went down to nothing. Well, of course they would, but there was a time when they were coming left and right and sideways, and yeah. So there's going to be something new. I think the newest one that I started getting multiples of is the life insurance one. I think I had one of them as a bonus video, but I've gotten 2 or 3 of those in a day. So those are starting up. So that's a wintergreen type of scam. The life insurance that can be done at any time. Medicare, usually Medicare open enrollment, but they still try all the time. But it's like funeral expense insurance. They can do that anytime. So yeah. Well, I'll keep an eye out. You never know. I mean, how many calls did I get? Now I was rather busy in the store today and did not answer every one of my calls. But let's see here. Just a quick gander. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 calls today. 16 calls. For a Saturday, that's actually normal for me. Now, some of the ones I answered, there was nobody there. Some of the ones I answered, they started the scam and I was busy and said, hey, call me back. But 16, that's not unusual high or low for a Saturday. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. Yet last Sunday I got like 3 or 4 calls, which is kind of unusual. They don't normally call on Sunday, but we'll see. We'll see if they call me tomorrow. Manuel says, good evening to Maggie. Tim says, I was in Huntsville, Alabama. They had a Duluth trading store. It was closed when I left town earlier. Loved their commercials. Okay. I don't think I've ever been to a Duluth trading store. Avery, you?
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay. Jim says, nice glasses, Drew. They made me new subscription glasses. They made them wrong. Can't get used to them. They have bifold lens in the middle of them. Yeah, I didn't do the bifold this time. I told him that I ended up with my old glasses. I ended up just taking them off to read stuff close to me and having to put it like right here in order to read it. So I got separate reading glasses specifically for stuff right in front of me. Right now, computer distance wise, I'm seeing everything crystal clear. Whether or not I read it properly is a whole other story, but I see it properly. Yeah, you know me.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah says the monkey scared my husband. Even now, I can do the wicked. I can do the Wicked Witch. You know what? People ask me like, what is this? What is the scariest movie you've ever seen? You guys, I may have already told you this before. It's been a while. It's one of my favorite subjects, but the scariest movie I've ever seen in my life is The Walk. It's the movie about the guy who tightrope walked across the Twin Towers. I literally almost had a heart attack just watching the preview. And because it was so realistic to me, my wife and I were in the theater and the trailer comes on, and oh my God, my heart was, I could not. And my wife's looking at me like, what are you, insane? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I refused to see it in the theater. I told my wife I could not handle seeing that movie in the theater. So what did I do? I went out and bought it. I might even have a steelbook case version of it. And she and I sat on our couch and watched it together. And there were times I had to pause it because I was dying. I'm looking at, and I even did a little bit of research. So I knew ahead of time the guy made it across, went back and forth several times. You know, he was alive. He never fell, never even, you know, but watching the movie scared the ever living frick out of me to the there. And I tell people there is a scene in which he walks out into the middle of it and then lays down on the wire.
Yeah, that's pretty freaky. I ain't doing that.
Yeah. Oh, what was that?
Oh, my mic cord.
Oh, you got too close to something, huh? Yeah, that
on the mic cord.
There's no, and that movie and The Witch from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, scariest things I've ever seen in my life. BB says, I used to live in Jersey, late 1970s through 1986. Both of my kids were born there. Last place I lived was Lawrence Harbor, New Jersey, south of Perth Amboy. Okay. Where did we live? Newark, New Jersey is where we lived. And I didn't find out till years and years later, that's where the Hindenburg blew up, was in that area, in the New Jersey area there. I had no idea. It's kind of sad, but, you know, sometimes as a little kid, you don't learn these things. Anita says hello to Manuel. She says, I'm making tamales. Oh, nice. Manuel says, yes, my friend Drew, I now live in Louisiana. See, I knew you lived in Louisiana. Sarah says, Planet of the Apes scared me. Really? Which version? The original, or the Mark Wahlberg remake, or the most current remake series? Those are actually awesome movies.
The original's awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's some parts of it where I'm like, why not just punch the guy in the face and run away? You know, but that didn't happen. Manuel says, I watched the Planet of the Apes. Have you seen the trailer for the new one? The new one looks really good. So Maggie says, good evening, Manuel. Hey, Maggie, welcome to the show. Mazamil Awan says, I am from Pakistan. Well, very cool. Well, welcome to the show, sir. Welcome. Sarah says, she told me the boogeyman was family named Boogie, and Noogie, and they love little girls and lots of others. Oh boy, that sounds like a pretty freaky story. Manuel says, good evening to Mazamil. The two of us says Rodimus Prime was a moron. We were also disappointed in Galvatron, never lived up to our expectations. Now, I liked Hot Rod because I actually had a Hot Rod figure. I had a Hot Rod toy. I liked Hot Rod. But you're right. I never really cared about Rodimus Prime. Yeah.
I want that Optimus Prime that transforms on its own.
Oh, the one that transforms. Yeah, that does.
And
look cool.
And the Grimlock, dude. They make a Grimlock.
I haven't seen that one.
You haven't seen the Grimlock? Oh my God, look it up. It's amazing. Like Grimlock transform.
Oh wow.
Oh my God, it transforms on its own.
Very cool.
Oh, it looks so, dude. They look just like the show to me.
That's cool. Sarah says Margaret Hamilton was great as the witch. I didn't know her name, but okay. Margaret, very nice. We are off today. You don't.
No,
Mazamil says we are off today. You don't receive calls. Okay. Well, I did get several calls today. Well, depending on where he's at, it could be Sunday where he's at. So that may be what he's referring to, that they don't work on Sunday. So the two of us says total flops, both of them. Oh, I think he's talking about the Planet of the Apes ones. Glenn says was called from Advanced Medicare.
or Rodimus and Galvatron.
Oh, okay. Glenn says was called from Advanced Medicare asking if I'd received my new health food and flex cards. I said they came in the mail last week. They continued with their script anyway. Do they really listen? No, they do not. I like to try to get them off their script, and you can hear it in their voices that they literally want to scream at you. Just let me finish reading my script. You know, that's. But I can't help myself. I have too much fun with that. Tattle says, I noticed a higher percentage of calls from unfamiliar numbers in which no one is there. I believe that's because they're testing the numbers, testing to see if people are picking up. So I get a lot of those, especially early. Like my first calls start coming in around 9 a.m. almost every morning. And it's usually I'll answer it and I won't say anything because I know nobody's really there. So it's a lot of test numbers, but it's usually close to around 10 or 11 that the calls start picking up where I actually get to talk to people. And then right around the 5 o'clock hour, like 5 to 6 is when I get a lot of the good calls, a lot of my best calls. And notice I say that because I don't want my boss to know I'm answering calls and taking scam calls while I'm supposed to be working. So I tell everybody 5 to 6 is the best time. Wink, wink. I know he's not watching. He doesn't care. None of them care. I tell them all the time I have this channel, and they're like, oh, okay, that's very nice. Nobody cares. It's like my entire family is the same way. You know, I tell them, hey, I got this YouTube channel. I have a lot of fun on there. And they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. Good boy. Move on. Keep doing your thing. Oh, well. Birth says, I think scam calls go in waves. I do think so, too. The two of us says, Glenn, we got that one 2 days ago. So say we both. Okay. Vicky's here. Hey, Vicky says, I was terrified by the movie Willard and the Rats. Oh, wasn't there a remake of that with the guy that played the dad from Back to the Future? What is his name? Crimey. He also played in the first Charlie's Angels movie. He was like the skinny man or something, the real creepy. What is his name? I forgot what his name is. But yeah, I think he was in a remake of Willard. And that's definitely right up his alley. As a child because my mother is an idiot and took a 4-year-old to go see it. Ironically, I love rats now. They make great pets. We had a rat once. My daughter did. One of the things that we did not know when she got her rat, which I can't remember what his name was, is that their life expectancy is only about a year. A year is about it for them. And when he passed away, he literally was in her hands and she was holding him and he bit her and then jumped to his death. Jumped from her hand and went to the floor and did not survive. I mean, it wasn't the fall that killed him, but he was dying at that moment. So he kind of lashed out at the world as he said goodbye and jumped out of her hands. That's a really sad story to tell right before Christmas, you know? But, oh well, sorry. I think that should become a comic book. I should make a graphic novel about that. Craig says, Maggie, they definitely have me marked and voice recognition to hang up on me if they do call, because I tell them they are Narcotics Anonymous meetings and they have to pay back all. I would love to use that line, but Craig is much smarter than I am, and I probably forget about it. So, but that's good. Emmanuel says, good evening to Vicky. Muzamil says, you don't receive calls after 20th of December to the 1st of January. Really? Okay. Well, we'll see if that actually happens. The 20th of December to the 1st of January. Okay. Well, I literally got calls on Thanksgiving Day, which kind of shocked me. I think I got 3 calls on Thanksgiving Day. So, it figured they'd give up on that day, but not. They did not. Vicky says, hello, Manuel. Thank you. Thank to you. Glenn says, Margaret Hamilton played the Wicked Witch. She really was a sweetheart. There is a clip of her explaining how she got the part. Oh, okay. Very cool. T-Cash says, why do the scammers give up when you just say, I'm fine, how are you? I think it has to do with, if you ask them a question, it throws them off their script. Even if it's as simple as, I'm fine, how are you? They panic because they don't know what to say because it's not in their script. I've had them hang up on me by me simply just asking, I'm sorry, what did you say your name was? Or I'm sorry, where are you calling from again? I mean, you literally just said it. Just repeat it. And they don't know what to do. And they hang up the phone. So sometimes that's the easiest way to get them hang up is ask them a question. Right off the bat, just ask them, I'm sorry, what was your name? They'll panic. And that's always fun. BB says, when we lived in New Jersey, we went to the World Trade Center, and my husband could not walk up to the window. I had no problem with it. He couldn't deal with it. I understand completely. I had a buddy of mine that worked at the New York Times, and one of the years that my son and I went to New York to visit Todd and go to the convention, we stopped by and went, and he actually gave us a tour of the New York Times building. And we went up, I don't think we went all the way up to the top, but we went up high enough that we could look out and see the city. And I was like, nah, it's okay. I'm not going to go near the window. I never knew I was afraid of heights until I got into a situation like that where I'm like, nope, can't do it. Cannot do it. And I never realized how afraid of heights I was, but I wouldn't say deathly afraid of heights. It's not going to looking over heights, but it's not something I want to do. Nope. I avoid it like the plague. Matter of fact, there's a road here in town that they created flyovers. I don't know if you guys are familiar with flyovers. Some major metropolitan areas have them, but they're like single lane that go over a road and go a different direction. There's a few of them around here, and when I go on them, I cannot look beyond straight ahead. I cannot look to the side. I cannot do it. It freaks me out being on those flyovers. I have to look straight ahead, and I never realized how much it scared me, but it does. So now you guys know my secret. I'm scared of heights. Nope. Jim says, "What's up with this with that scam video when the scammer is saying, 'Don't play with me, man'?" I don't know why. I mean, Avery, this was the video. It was life insurance, and the guy asked me how old I am, and I said, "Well, what does that matter? What does that?" And he says, "Well, we have a certain criteria for age limit." And I said, "Okay, well, what's the criteria? And I'll tell you if I fall in." And he was like, "Oh man, don't play with me!" And then he dropped an F-bomb and so
don't
forth.
Play with me, man.
Yeah. It's like, hey, wonderful. But that guy, if you listen to that video again, that guy sounds drunk. He sounds like he was very much under the weather. But yeah, I get that every now and then where they probably live some very miserable lives, and I feel bad for them sometimes, but not enough that I'm gonna stop messing with them, especially if they're gonna call me,
Yeah.
So
They
Vicky
call
said,
you. Whatever they get, they get.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you guys called me and asked for it. I'm only giving you what you asked for. So Vicky says to Glenn, she was very good friend of Mr. Rogers and Cass too. Okay, very cool. About the witch from Wizard of Oz. T-Cash says, oh, the humanity. Bebe says, Lakehurst, New Jersey was where the Hindenburg went down. Yeah, Lakehurst, that's where we lived. It was near Newark. Or was it near Newark? Frickin' A. Lakehurst is where I lived. It's been a long time. Hey, Bill, how's it going? Bill says, hey, you guys. How's it going? Very good. Welcome back to the show, Bill. Sarah says all the Planet of the Apes. Oh, really? All the Planet of the Apes scared you? Oh boy. Bebe says some of my ancestors were the founding fathers of Newark, New Jersey. Really?
Oh,
Very cool. Manuel says, hey to Bill. Good evening and happy Saturday. Manuel says, I don't watch new movies yet, my friend Drew. No? There's a whole slew of them that are coming out next year that actually look very interesting. If you like musicals, there's the Mean Girls remake, which I think looks hilarious. If you like action movies, there's the new Planet of the Apes. If you like silly action movies, there's that new movie Argyle from what's his name, the guy that did Kingsman. That actually looks kind of funny. It's got action and fun, so I mean, there's a whole slew of movies that the wife and I are both looking forward to seeing. So that's just a few. Bill says my fridge is not cooling. Now thawing out my fridge and freezer. Oh man, that sucks. That sucks, dude. Sorry. Bill says hello to Manuel. Bill says she went on Mr. Rogers' show and not look so mean. Well, thank goodness. That's a good thing, right? Glenn says 4 times now trying this. So, you're calling about my final expenses. I'd like my remains to be shot into space so that I can orbit Uranus for eternity. That's good. That's good. I'm assuming the name of the planet was what caused YouTube to be dickish. So, I dries I'm not going to ever say that correctly, but says when you hear a Middle Eastern accent or an Indian, just hang up. Oh, no. I got to talk to him. I got to have fun with him. I mean, if you guys hear a foreign accent and want to hang up, go for it. But me, I love messing with it. That's why I think it's so funny. I'll get messages every now and then that will say, I get these calls too. How do I get rid of them? How do I stop getting them? I've honestly never tried to not get them. So I'm not the person to ask when it comes to avoiding scam calls because I openly accept all comers. So I don't know. I know some people have recommended different apps, but I don't know of any sure way to stop calls. But yeah, I'm not trying to stop them. I love them. Anita says, Drew, do you like pistachios? Because I live 300 yards from a pistachio farm. Really? Oh, wow. I'm not a big nut fan, to be honest with you. I will eat nuts, but if I had to choose, nuts would probably be very, very low on my list of favorite things to eat. Like my mother-in-law absolutely adores, what is the kind I buy her? It's coconut flavored or coconut crusted something. It's one of those nuts that she really, really, really enjoys snacking on, but the coconut ones are her favorites. Whatever. She's a strange bird. Manuel says good evening to the God.
Are they cashews by chance?
Maybe. I don't know. When I go to the store, there's 3 different kinds lined up next to each other. One's roasted, one's salted, and one's coconut flavored. That's the one I buy for her.
It's probably cashews.
Probably cashews. Guys, I told you, I'm not very bright. I just go with what I do, you know? Tattle says Hindenburg blew up in Lakehurst, New Jersey, over 60 miles south of Newark. Yes, okay, Lakehurst is where I live then. Because it was years after I moved out of there that I found out about that, but that's all right. DeGod says, good evening. Rex. Hey, Rex says, how's it going? It's going great. Fantastic. Tattle says, Crispin Glover, that's it, was the dad from Back to the Future. Crispin Glover. He's a really weird-looking actor, and playing the part of Willard was perfect for him. And I honestly can't remember another movie he's been in other than Charlie's Angels. So the two of us says, okay, here is our story. We are old school telemarketer antagonists. We go way back to the famous landline wars of the 1990s. No call or dumb phones then. Okay. Bill says, I got a letter from True Accord Collection Agency saying I owed AT&T $300. The name on the envelope is not anyone that lives here. That's funny. The two of us says, and all on an old antique yellow rotary dialer. Really? Wow. Manuel says, good evening to Rex. The two of us says that was, in fact, the reason behind the DNCL legislation. So we were on the front lines. Without those resources, so say we both. Okay, very cool. Bill says, Ratatouille. Ratatouille. Glenn says, I got a 28-minute call. Wanted to update my Medicare information. They had my name and my old compromised Medicare number. They wanted my social security number, address, and doc's name, all fake except old Medicare and Dr. Theodore Giselle, Dr. Seuss. Okay. Yeah, if they have your old one, you know it's a scammer because Glenn knows that number has been compromised, and anybody that has it is full of crap. So Darlene says some calls come in from a robo or spam. It is nice to ID themselves. Haha, very good. I had a robocall the other day that sounded so legit, and it was even an Indian sounding voice. But when I asked a question or asked them to repeat something, it just kept going. So I knew it was a robocaller, but it was very convincing until you start asking questions, and then it doesn't know what to do. Tim says the original The Day the Earth Stood Still scared me when I was young. Now, see, that movie never scared me because I'd watched it so many times. It was one of my dad's all-time favorite movies. And back when I was in elementary school, whenever there was a free day, that was the movie they picked for us to watch. I probably watched it 15 times before I got to high school. In school, which is really weird because I don't know if there's any educational value to that movie. It's just one, I guess, they knew they could put on, and there was nothing offensive in it.
Yeah.
You know?
At least for the time period.
At least for the time period. Yeah, absolutely. Sarah says, Margaret Hamilton used to be in Maxwell House commercials. Really? Okay. I can't remember the last time I saw a Maxwell House commercial. Maybe. Manuel says, good evening to T-Cash. Vicky says rats live around 2 to 3 years with good breeding. We had one that lived almost 3.5, mainly because she was a witch and too ornery to die. She hated me. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I think the rat that my daughter got, because this is my daughter's rat, was not. It was a very common rat. I believe she got it from a pet store. I don't remember. I wasn't there when she got it. All I knew is that one day she brought it home. I think my wife was involved in this purchase, but I was not. There was a time period where I was working 3 jobs, and I literally came home and ate and slept, and that was it. I was not home for a lot of stuff, and my wife did all the rearing of the children, which is a good thing because I would have done a crappy job of it. But I do remember the rat coming home and me going, "Oh, okay, that's just what we need, a rat." Anyway, Berth says, have you ever gotten the PCH, the Publishers Clearinghouse scam call? I have not. Or let me rephrase that. I have, but it's been a very, very long time. It's not one that I get regularly, so it's not one that is readily available in my directory of scam calls. So sorry. The yawn just hit me all of a sudden, but I know they exist. I know they're out there. I've probably gotten at least 1 or 2, maybe, but it's not something I get regularly. Manuel says, I got an email from Publisher Clearinghouse. I deleted it into the trash. Good man. Bill says, I tried to be an iron worker and lasted 10 minutes. Laugh out loud. Okay. I don't think that's a job I could do either, so I understand, Bill. Yeah, Glenn says, same scammer called me the next day at 7:30 a.m. about my back knee brace. Another 20 minutes wasted. I asked if they knew what a pencil was because they didn't seem to be writing down my info. That's sad. Bill says, you making me a fool? No, absolutely not, Bill. Absolutely not. Glenn says, auto accident forgiveness called. Grandma was in an accident last year around Christmas. It was a sleigh accident. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Click. Yeah, I've tried that myself. But yeah, they catch on to that real quick. I'm almost guaranteeing you they've heard that many, many, many times. So I'm going to see if the next time I get one, I get a real person, if I can drag that one out a little bit longer. The last time I did it, I told the guy, no, it wasn't me that was in the accident. It was my grandmother. And he got suspicious like right away. So, but we'll try. Actually, you know what I should say? I should say it next time. It wasn't me. It was my abuela. And try to see if they catch on or not. Darlene says, my uncle and cousin worked in the towers. My uncle was on the train on the way to work when the first plane hit. Cousin worked at number 7 tower, was safely evacuated. Holy crap. Wow. Darlene. So that's very good. That's very good. It's still scary thinking about some of that stuff, but yeah. Whew. Bill says, come to your real voice. Okay. Glenn says, final expense call. How old are you? 642 years old. Why did you wake me from my coffin during the day? Click. Very good. Vicky says, laugh out loud. I had an accident one call the other day. He didn't seem to believe me when I told him a bunny rabbit was the reason for my wreck. Hey, pets can be very distracting when you're driving, so doesn't surprise me. Sarah says, I hear you, Bill. I just got a new refrigerator today. I had to live with just a freezer for a month. Oh, goodness. BB says, scariest movie for me as a kid was Vincent Price movie called The Tingler. Laugh out loud. I saw it again after I was an adult and wondered why I was so scared. Yeah, it scared me so. It's stupid. Laugh out loud. I don't think I've ever seen The Tingler.
I've heard of it. I think that's the movie when they first debuted it. They put little shocker things in the seats of the theater.
Oh, that'd be funny.
I think.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking of.
That's great. All right, let me keep going. T-Cash says, think I was like 5 years, 5 years old. The first Planet of the Apes, watched it at the drive-in, fell off the roof of the car, ended up in the ER at the end. Oh wow. Jeez.
Wow.
Sitting on the roof of the car. Oh, jeez. That's a memorable experience right there. Bill says, hey, that's a new gig for the SpaceX. Sending our ashes into space. I will invest. Oh, that does sound good. I'm pretty sure they could do it. Yeah, there'd be people out there willing to pay that. The two of us says, we went to the movies once in the last 10 years. It proved to be a mistake, and we do not like making mistakes. Very good. BB says, I love pistachios. Bill says, I live in South Texas, got all the free pecans I can gather. Okay.
Yeah, pecans.
Anita says, Drew, because I got them for free. Oh, okay. Gotcha. DeGod says, I don't hang up. They hang up on me, but I don't really answer strange numbers on my phone. I answer other people's phones and mess with them. Okay, I got you. Well, I get calls to my phone, and calls that go to my wife's phone get forwarded to my phone. If she doesn't pick up within so many rings, it automatically comes to me. So I'm answering 2 lines all the time, and I always try to answer the phone. I even if it says scam likely or suspected scam or unknown number, I'm answering that phone. I have a death wish when it comes to answering the phone. I got to do it. Bill says, Glover got kicked off of the Letterman show. Really? Okay. I think I remember hearing that story. I think I do. Christian says, do you ever get so annoyed that you get to their do not call list? Happy Saturday. I've actually had a few calls in which I called the number back and got whoever it was that was calling originally, and I would continue to call until all of a sudden the number's disconnected or no longer in service, which literally means they blocked my number. So, but I don't do very many calling. All my recordings are calls that they made to me. So I don't have that experience that much, but I have done it in the past.
So annoying they blocked you.
Yeah. It happens.
It's pretty good.
Tattle says Glover almost kicked Letterman in the head. He later claimed it was an act. Well, he was a weird guy to begin with. So, Manuel says good evening to Christina. T-Cash says, do most of your inbound scam calls say suspected scam or private ETC? Almost all of them. There are exceptions where it just shows the number, but the majority of them says scam likely. So, yeah. Mike's here. Hey, Mike, how's it going? They call me all day long. It's so annoying. Yep, I understand. You know what you need to do? You need to start recording your calls. You need to start screwing with them. You need to start a YouTube channel. That's what I did. That's how I deal with those annoying calls. And eventually, if you get enough subscribers, you can monetize it and you can make money off of them. I highly recommend it. Go for it. Bill says, Drew, tell him who Ratatouille is. You mean the rat from the Ratatouille movie? Oh, wasn't that what's his name? What's that comedian's name? The annoying comedian. Avery, I know you know who I'm talking about.
Huh?
He's got the weird name.
Who?
The guy that played the rat in Ratatouille.
I don't know.
The voice. Oh.
How would I know?
He was in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's in the trailer for the new Ghostbuster movies. Patton Oswalt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's annoying.
Oh yeah.
He's funny. Well, he was funny, but he's more annoying now than anything else. So
yeah, killed his wife. Yeah.
In Minecraft, right?
No, in real life.
The two of us says we are curious, Drew. Do get the refund scams and gift cards scenario. Oh, I've gotten those many times where they call you and say, we're going to give you back funds. Usually it's like the electric bill or something. Yeah. Those are, they commonly try to take advantage of old people, which obviously I'm an old person, so they call me all the time. Manuel says, my first I watched was Friday the 13th in South American Chile. I go to the movies with my uncle to get scared. I get scared. Oh boy. I remember seeing Friday the 13th like on HBO or Cinemax or something. I never saw it. I never saw any of those in the theater. So that was weird. Glenn says, I got a call today from a robot that had an Indian accent. That was weird. Yes, I've gotten those as well. It's really weird. They've decided instead of investing in American sounding voices, they use their own voices to record those robot calls. Not smart, because it just makes them seem even dumber. Anyway, Bill says, I'm trapping rats right now. They are chewing up my electrical wires. Oh, goodness. BB says, gonna have to leave soon. Getting ready to watch something with my sons. Y'all have a great weekend. Fantastic. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your week. T-Cash says, ever watch Kit Boga? Of course. He's probably the most popular scam baiter out there. Think he has millions of subscribers. Well, yeah, that's why. Truthfully, I think yours are better. He just goes on for hours straight to sounding fake. Well, I try to keep mine short and sweet and try to at least have fun with it. Betty's here. Hey, Betty says, hello, Andrew, and everyone in the chat. Welcome to the show, Betty. Hope everything's going good. Manuel says, good evening to Betty. Jim says, I keep getting emails with these, your Norton subscription is going to expire. I don't use Norton. I use Bitfender. My mother-in-law gets those as well, and she freaks out every time she gets them because they come up and they say, your computer has been infected. And it's like, oh, jeez. The old people, they fall for it every time. Betty says hello to Manuel. Bill says, I am still using scammer lines on you. I'm just using scammer lines on you. Oh, okay. I got you, Bill. Betty says hello to Bill. Bill says hello back to Betty. Bebe says, take care, everybody. Catch y'all next Saturday if I can. Fantastic. Thank you, Bebe. Betty says, good night to BB. I said I did it wrong again. I'm so sorry. I hope they don't hear that. Big Daddy says, I troll scammers that my first name is Scott, last name Towel. Scott Towel. Okay. Scott Towel. Okay. Tattle says Spine Tingler was the origin of the name. The character couldn't scream, so she couldn't release her tension. I agree. Bad plot, but it scared me for the first time too. Crazy. Glenn says pecans or pecans. Pecans or pecans. Honestly, I've heard it both ways.
In the South, we say
pecans. Yeah.
Like in Georgia, it's pecan.
Yeah.
I believe pecan is probably.
There's probably no right way to say it, you know?
It's regional how you say it.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Betty says hi to Big Daddy E. Michael's here. Hey, Michael says, after a Thanksgiving weekend trip, the scammers quit calling for a couple of weeks, but they resumed calling yesterday. See, I've never had weeks at a time off. I've had slowdowns where I'll get less calls, but I've never had weeks off, ever. Which, you know, for the bottom line, I don't mind. Don't mind at all. Emmanuel says, good evening to Michael. Tattle says, any advice on how to start a YouTube channel? All right. I will give you advice based on what I did. Start making videos of things you enjoy, of things you like. Okay? I used to make movie reviews, comic book reviews, drawing videos, Lego reviews, anything that I found interesting, I made a video about. And eventually something clicked. Something took off. Something became the focus of your channel. And for me and this channel, it was the scam calls I got. But I put out hundreds of videos. I did daily videos for a long, long time. All different things. Anything that tickled my fancy, I made a video about. One of my most popular videos on my channel prior to the scams, I was literally walking through Walmart and they had a huge display for Shark Week. And I walked around the display showing off what they had on this Shark Week display, from toys to towels to whatever. That video, mainly probably because Shark Week was in the title, got thousands and thousands of views. Now, why I didn't continue to make that type of videos? Because I hated it. It's boring. It's the cheapest, most unimaginative way to make a video. Now, did I make more videos like it? I did. None of them took off like the Shark Week one did. But bottom line is, make videos that you enjoy. Find something you like to do and you like to talk about and you like to share with other people. Make those videos and see what sticks. See what hits. That's my bit of advice. And make videos every day. Make at least one video a day. That's the other advice. Because if somebody finds you and they follow you, they're going to be interested in what you do every day. That's it. Betty says, making money for calling scammers sounds like fun. Yep, it is fun. And I really love telling them that at the time. I love it when I get to the point where I say, oh, by the way, I have a YouTube channel. I record all my calls. And because I'm monetized, I'm going to make more money off this call than you ever will. Whether it be just pennies on the dollar or whatever, 10 cents here, 5 cents here. It's way more money than they're ever going to get from me. Love it. Sarah says, when my husband and I were engaged, we had just come out of the Scream movie. Some guy banged on the window near needing directions, and we jumped almost 10 feet. I bet you would. I remember seeing Scream with my wife. Were we married at the time? I don't remember. Yes, we had to have been married because my sister was working at the theater and got us into the movie for free, and her husband was with her. So we were married before her. So at the time, yes, I remember seeing that one in the theater. That was a little freaky too. Michael says hi to Manuel. Bill says Glover and Gary Busey were weird but good actors. Just don't invite them to your party. Yep, there you go. Tim says, I saw The Last House on the Left at a drive-in. I saw the only drive-in movie that I can remember seeing was with my parents. It was a double feature. It was Cull, the sci-fi one, and The Toy with what's his name? Not Eddie Murphy.
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor.
Not Eddie Murphy.
Not Eddie Murphy.
Oh my God. I can't believe you.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
Christina says, Bill, Radax is wonderful. Cleaned out all of the rats in the barn. Oh, goodness. Now we're talking about killing rats. Oh, goodness. Betty says to Glenn, laugh out loud. Bill says to Christina, good to know. Glenn says, you would think that if your subscription was going to expire, they would have notified you a couple of weeks ago instead of today. That is absolutely true. You should ask them about that. DeGod says, I wish I can find scam baiters for you Facebook scammers in the fake sports teams and food groups. You'd have a name like MD Rohim and say they love the Steelers and post a picture of the player. Okay. DeGod says, then when the gullible people believe it and say happy birthday, they post a link because they won an RV or something false. Yes, my mother-in-law gets sucked into those Facebook ads and scams all the time. Oh, Betty sent me a super sticker for 99 cents. Thank you, Betty. I appreciate it. Okay, one more. We're going to read Tim's and then we're wrapping up. We had about 5 drive-ins back in the 70s. Now we are down to 1, and it's almost 40 miles away.
Oof.
Craig says hi to Betty. And Betty says, Drew, you did a great job. Well, thank you so much. Oh, 2 more came in. Bill says, Vincent Price poured honey on the guy's head and released locusts on him. Oh, my goodness.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think I could handle that either. And Jim says, that movie trilogy of terror and the voodoo doll traumatized me.
Oh, yeah. I know.
All right, guys, I appreciate y'all coming in and joining us this evening. We had a lot of fun. I appreciate it thoroughly. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I hope you have a great upcoming week. Remember, if you get calls like I do, hang up on them or screw with them like I do. And if you do screw with them, record it and share it with everybody. Screw and share.
Screw and share.
That's right. And I hope everybody has a fantastic... We're in December. My gosh, today's what, the 9th? The month's a third of the way over. This year is going by so quickly. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to next year. I'm so excited about next year. Anyway, thank you guys for joining. I hope you all have a great one, and we'll catch y'all next time.